2 games into the football season, and 2 of our teams are 2-0. Welcome to the pregame show. I'm Ted Madden. Since 1970, Mesquite and North Mesquite have played each other every year. This was the 53rd meeting between the rivals, but the first as non-district opponents. The Stallions, in Class 5A now, got off to a quick lead when Luke Cedar connected with Cordell Russell on a 29-yard touchdown for a 7-0 lead. Cedar had 5 combined touchdowns in this game. Skeeter's running back, Armand Cleaver, scored 3 touchdowns. This one in the second quarter gave Mesquite its first lead of the game at 14-13. The Skeeters led at halftime and then scored 21 unanswered points in the third, highlighted by a 68-yard interception return by Rodarian Wilson. And Mesquite wins for the 30th time in this rivalry. 44-32 was the final. Mesquite will play in Louisville Friday night against the Fighting Farmers. They've met 8 times. The first 4 meetings were from 1954 to 1957. The next 4 from 2000 to 2003. The Skeeters are 2-6 all-time against Louisville. North Mesquite will try to bounce back against North Forney, which is now in Class 6A. The Falcons are in the district that the Stallions used to be in, with Horn, Mesquite, the Rockwall Schools, and others. It's homecoming night for North. Across town, it was another big rivalry game with West taking on Poteet. The Wranglers got on the board first, not even a minute and a half into the game, on a touchdown pass from Craig Dale to Javion Jackson, and it was 7-zip quick. You know what's even quicker? The response by the Pirates. On the ensuing kickoff, Davion Hall scooped it up after a couple of hops, got a stiff arm, couple of blocks, and took it back 80 yards for the score. It was 7-7. But West Mesquite opened things up in the second quarter, outscoring Poteet 24-0. Dale rushed for 2 scores and threw for 2, a second one going to Jackson, as the Wranglers get the big win over their rival, 51-21.
So everybody talks about handling adversity, but no one ever talks about handling success. And there's a certain way that you handle success, and we need to talk about that. The reality is we're 0-0, and we got an opponent Friday night. If we don't prepare for them, they're good enough to beat us.
West Mesquite will try to keep it rolling at Chisholm Trail Friday night. They beat this team last year by 3 touchdowns, and the Wranglers will be 3-0 if they can beat them again. Poteet will try to bounce back against an old familiar district opponent and a familiar coach. Former Mesquite head coach Jeff Fleener is in his second year with the Jackrabbits. This will actually be the first time these 2 teams play each other as non-district opponents. The Pirates have a 10-4 edge all time. Mesquite Horn is off to a great start, 2-0 under new head coach Courtney Allen and his staff. They'll play Tyler High School in their 3rd non-district game. The Jaguars are 6-7 all time against the Lions.
When you first come in, you have a vision, and you talk about the belief. Well, once you start seeing it, that belief really starts to really take place. So, once you start believing it, all this stuff becomes contagious after that.
Phil Gordon was an educator and administrator for Mesquite ISD for 29 years before retiring in June. Now he's back, serving as the tennis coach at Poteet. As a retiree, Coach Gordon works part-time and can focus only on coaching, with no other teaching or administrative duties.
The biggest surprise was how quickly the kids would respond to positives. Talking to one kid just about how good I thought he was, and he really looked at me like he was surprised. I was like, no, you're a good player. And just seeing how much of a difference that made in him day to day.
That's it for the pregame show. Thank you for supporting Mesquite ISD Athletics, and enjoy your game.